Switch 2 full reveal. How to watch the Nintendo Direct and what to expect. We're finally set to get full details about the new Nintendo Switch 2. Here's what we're hoping to see. After last week's game-centric Nintendo Direct, it's time to turn our attention to the very exciting Nintendo Switch console, which is a huge moment for gaming and will surely be one of the year's most coveted tech launches. To announce more details on the console, there will be a Nintendo Direct taking place tomorrow, April 2nd. This event has been in the diary since January, when we saw a surprise, though long-rumored, video revealing the design of the new console, very Switch-like, and teasing some new features like magnetic, redesigned Joy-Cons, and confirming that there would be backwards compatibility with older Switch cartridges, as well as digital transfers of Nintendo eShop, games you already own. There was also a very quick preview of what is, presumably, a brand new version of Mario Kart 9, or whatever it will be called. The Switch 2 Nintendo Direct Showcase will stream online on Nintendo's YouTube, embedded below, and Twitch channels. Nintendo seems to be saying that this will no quick reveal. It will apparently last around an hour, which is a lot longer than we were expecting, and maybe a deep dive around the specs or hardware, less likely, or go in-depth on game launches, more likely. Nintendo Direct. Nintendo Switch 2 is almost here. In less than 24 hours, Nintendo will lift the lid on its upcoming Switch 2 console. Set for Wednesday, April 2nd, this showcase is expected to finally confirm the Switch 2's release date and the all-important price. The latest rumors tip the console for a June launch and a $399 price tag, and Switch 2 pre-orders could go live following the conclusion of the Direct. Nintendo Switch 2 games are also expected to be revealed during the showcase. We already know a new Mario Kart is heading to the second-generation Switch, but that'll be just the start of the software showcase during this presentation. The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct promises the answers we've been craving for far too long, and we'll be covering the entire live event before, during, and after in this dedicated Switch 2 Direct live blog. What we expect at Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Nintendo is being very coy with details on what will be shown during this Switch 2 presentation. The gaming giant has offered nothing more, stating it will offer a closer look at Nintendo Switch 2-inch and will run 60 minutes long. The console's price and firm release date seem a near certainty, and we also expect to get more details about the upcoming Mario Kart game teased in the first reveal back in January. Otherwise, things are rather mysterious. There are a lot of rumored Switch 2 games already, and several of these could be confirmed in the Nintendo Direct. I'm also predicting we'll see some Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, perhaps even a new version of the Switch Pro controller. Nintendo has today, April 1st, gone live with the Switch 2 Direct broadcast link over on YouTube. I promise this is no April Fool's. Right now, you can head over to YouTube and prepare yourself for the upcoming event in just 22 hours. Okay, so you probably don't want to screen at a bright red splash screen for almost an entire day, but you can now bookmark this page and return tomorrow, or why not just watch via the embedded link above. Plus, if you're the forgetful type, you can click the Notify Me button in the bottom left-hand corner, and you'll get a little notification message ahead of the stream going live. Of course, we'll also notify you of that in this live blog. Nintendo has announced an additional pair of Nintendo Switch 2 live streams, which will be part of the Nintendo Treehouse brand via its X account. The first will be held on Thursday, April 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 3 p.m. British Summer Time, followed by one on Friday, April 4th in the same time slot. These two presents promise to include hands-on Switch 2 gameplay. If you've never heard of Nintendo Treehouse, it's a live stream format that typically sees developers and/or Nintendo executives interviewed while showcasing their latest games. Nintendo has previously held Treehouse streams during flagship gaming events such as the now-defunct E3. We don't know exactly how long these Treehouse streams will be, but they look set to offer an extended look at some of the games revealed during the upcoming Nintendo Direct, Nintendo Switch 2 presentation on April 2nd. While the PS5 Pro is touting its somewhat limited 8K capabilities, a new rumor is suggesting Switch May 2nd be lacking the 4K features many of us had assumed would be a given. According to Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming, Select developers are now receiving Switch 2 dev kits, essentially the hardware needed to develop games for Nintendo Switch 2, and at least some of the dev kits don't support 4K. Expecting Switch 2 to offer 4K visuals in handheld mode was always something of a pipe dream, but there had been theories the hybrid console would offer the resolution in docked mode, with handheld opting for 1080p. This rumor certainly pours some cold water on those dreams, but it's important to note Henderson's use of the word some, perhaps suggesting multiple dev kits are being distributed, some of which might offer 4K options. We'll have to wait until Nintendo fully reveals the Switch 2 specs, likely on Wednesday or shortly afterward, before we know for certain if the console will be capable of 4K visuals, but this rumor certainly raises a doubt in my mind. If you'll indulge me, allow me to return to the world of wild speculation for a moment. The Nintendo Switch 2 feels like the perfect time for the next 3D Mario adventure. We've not had a brand new 3D Mario title since 2017's Super Mario Odyssey, and the Italian plumber seems primed to return to 3D worlds. Now, I don't expect a new 3D Mario game to be part of the Switch 2's launch lineup. If the console is going to launch with Mario Kart, I suspect Nintendo won't want to overload on Mario and will want his latest kart racing escapade to have the spotlight all to itself. However, a new 3D Mario could be the perfect title to really supercharge the Switch 2's first holiday season on the market. As much as I loved Mario Odyssey, and would certainly take a direct sequel to that game, a la Super Mario Galaxy 2, I'm hoping that Nintendo opts instead for something completely new. Either way, 3D Mario games are consistently excellent. Even the rough-edged Super Mario Sunshine has its charms. So wherever the plumber's next 3D adventure takes him, I have faith it'll be great. It's day 2 of our Switch 2 Direct Live blog as we build up to the event itself, which is just a little over 24 hours away. We're kicking off today, April 1st, with a brand new look at the Nintendo Switch 2 courtesy of the Nintendo Today app. The official Nintendo News app was announced and released during last week's Nintendo Direct, and it's been updated with a post reading "One day to go," accompanied by a glimpse at the Switch 2 in all 3 configurations. The console in handheld and TV mode isn't exactly groundbreaking. We've seen the Switch 2 from all angles in the initial reveal video, but the shot of it in tabletop mode is rather more intriguing. In this mode, we see the right Joy-Con turned on its side in a way that could be a tease at the much-rumored mouse mode, which will allow a Joy-Con to be used in the same way as a computer mouse. Very sneaky, Nintendo. The Nintendo Direct doesn't take place until Wednesday, April 2nd, but there will be more teases tomorrow, April 1st, and more rumors to consider before the big event. Keep it tuned to Tom's Guide for everything Nintendo as we scope out the latest information about the Switch 2 before, during, and after the next Nintendo Direct. In the meantime, check out our huge Nintendo Switch 2 hub where we trace the rumor history of the console, what we know now, and what we hope the Switch 2 is capable of. Based on what rumors we've seen, the Switch 2 should be more powerful, bigger, and come with some new features that the original Switch doesn't. We've broken down those differences here and why the leaked upgrades are important. The hype train is in full effect, and it's racing ahead of the rumor mill that is still grinding away. But ahead of the Direct, there are a few questions we hope Nintendo answers during the Direct on Wednesday. Display. What kind of display will the console feature? We hoped for an OLED panel, but recent rumors point toward an LCD screen, possibly to save costs. Joy-Con mouse. How does that teased mouse mode work? The controllers are supposed to have an optical sensor, but what will it be capable of? C button. What does that C button do? One rumor claimed it was for connecting a Switch 1 as second screen, but most point to some sort of social or chat component. Power. It's supposed to have a new NVIDIA chip, but how much more powerful will the Switch 2 be? Dock mode. Is the new dock different, and what does it enable? Rumor point to a beefier dock for more powerful gaming. Price. Nintendo has said the right things about keeping the Switch 2 affordable, but how much will it really cost? Launch games. Finally, what games will we be able to play beyond Mario Kart 9? A console is only as good as its games.